All right, welcome to a new champion mindset video. And what I want to go over is having the right mindset when you do come back after a break. Can be a vacation, can also just be a mental break where you just take a mental break from trading and you don't want to do anything at all. And then you get back into it. Now, there's a few things. On your vacation, on your break, it can be very stressful itself trying to actually take a break, because I think we are all like-minded here, and I think I can speak for a lot of people here when I say we consistently want to do something. We want to improve. We don't want to get outworked, in a sense, right? We feel guilty when we don't do anything. And that is it's great, but it can also be somewhat detrimental where you don't fully take rest, because that rest is very important. And this is something I encountered not just on my vacation, because I always encounter it myself, but it's something I deal with a lot. And I think it's very important in that moment that you can truly relax. How can you truly relax? It's first off, again, it's also by controlling your mind, because if you can't control your mind, you will constantly be controlled by the thoughts that get you to think about your work, about what you need to do in trading, about what you need to improve on, etc. And it's great to think about it, but there needs to be a time of rest as well, because if there's no time of rest, then eventually you will potentially get into a burnout, etc. And we don't want that. We want the longevity. So it's always very important. And that's always why I recommend it. You want to consistently outwork people. What I mean by that is you don't work 12 hours a day one day, and then the next day you work 1 hour, then you work 12 hours again, or even work 12 hours in general. Because I think if you are working 12 hours in general in one certain day, that's not that great for you. And what I mean by that is because that 12 hours of work that can potentially be done in just 4 hours of work as well, if you just focus very deeply on that work. So that is also something to think about, right? And all this goes on to say that when you do come back, and hopefully you had some time to fully rest, and if you can't, I would focus on also trying to meditate, trying to control your thoughts, and being with people you actually enjoying enjoy being around. And that is important, because then you sort of forget about the rest of the world, right? That is very important to have. And the next thing is, if you do come back from that vacation, from that break, it is very important to understand yourself again. All this trading thing and all what I'm talking about in champion mindset as well is it's understanding yourself. When you take a loss, for example, I don't trade anymore. When I take a win, I don't trade anymore. When I take a break even, I don't trade anymore, because I know I'm not the same person that I was 30 minutes ago. And that is because I understand myself. I've been there, I've done that. I just don't like that environment anymore. And when I do come back from vacation, I know I understand myself, and I've been there before, that I'm not in the flow. So even if a setup might look very good on my first day being back, it's not as good as I think it is. Again, that depends on how you on how much work you did during your break, during your vacation. If you had a vacation and you still were on the charts every single day, it's of course different. But if for me, for example, I 1 week I did nothing, and the other week I sort of did something, but also I just basically did nothing. So for me, it's key to get back into the flow, get back in sync with the market. What I mean by that is getting back in sync with the market is knowing exactly on a Monday morning, where is price hovering? What can it do? On a Tuesday morning, where was price hovering? What did it do? Exactly knowing what the dollar is heading towards, exactly knowing what EU is doing, exactly knowing what ES is doing, all these kind of things. Because basically, I missed a few weeks of price action where I didn't do anything at all. So I'm not in sync with the market. I didn't know what price was doing last week. I didn't know what it was doing last week on a Wednesday on the New York session. Now, do you specifically know that when you are in sync with the market? Of course, you might not know that specific, but in your subconscious mind, you still know where it was hovering above on a Wednesday on a New York kill zone. You just know it subconsciously. So that is very important. It's about getting back in sync with the market. And getting back in sync with the market is also getting back to trade, because if I personally haven't traded in a long time, what happens? That first trade is a pain in the ass, as in the emotions that start to rise again. I'm not really used to them anymore. So what then happens is I can either give in to those emotions and let them take control of me, where what then happens is I mess up my risk management, or I mess up my entry, or I don't take a trade I should trade even. And then it all leads to a detrimental cycle, right? So that is being aware of myself, being understanding of myself. That is very, very, very important. So what I do in this situation, and what I would advise to do to you as well, not financial advice, but instead of opening up a demo account, I would rather just buy a small challenge account. Can be any number, can even be a personal account with only 10 euros in it. Like, if it's just something that you can lose. A demo account, you can't lose it. There's nothing to lose. A challenge account, you can lose it. It might not be much, but you can lose it. So there's emotion involved. I want those emotions. I want to feel emotions. That's exactly the thing that I would want in this case, to get me back in sync with the market, to get back in flow with the market. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I now just execute on every single little thing just because I want to feel emotions. No, but it's important to understand when there are trades that I know I should take, I take them. And if I don't take them, then that's great. Then, it's great to know, all right, I'm not in sync with the market at all, because if I don't take the trades that I know I should take, then it might take me a little bit longer to get back in sync with the market, because there's a reason why I didn't take a trade. Could either be focus, could be that I'm so out of sync with the market that I just forgot my trading plan, even if you haven't traded your trading plan for a long time. Or it could be because your emotions were like, oh, I can't take this. I don't want to take the trade. So there's multiple reasons. And then we have to dissect and look at that and analyze it. All right, what is the reason behind that? And then we have to keep doing what we're doing and slowly build our way back up. Again, if you do want to trade your funded account immediately, I would always advise keep your risk low until you have that confidence back again, until you have your groove back again. That is very important to understand. When you come back from a break and you haven't done anything, then please understand that you are not the same person as you were when you were fully in the groove. That is very important to understand. So please be very mindful of that, and I'm also very mindful of that. So this next week, in this week that is this is the week of the 14th of August, on Monday, right there. This week, what I do is I take it very easy. If there's an opportunity, I might risk a very, very small amount. And then this week is me getting back in sync with the market, getting back into my routine, because that's also important. We are, as humans, we are very routine like humans. So we love routine, etc. So that is also not just your trading, but also what you eat in the morning, right? Because if that is thrown off, you might not be the same trader anymore. It's all these little things that get you into a routine, that get you to trade very well. And that is what we need to build up again. So that is very, very important. Again, that depends on a lot of factors. How long have you been on vacation? Didn't you look at any charts at all, etc.? So it's very important to understand that it depends on a lot. But what I'm doing is I'm building up my confidence again with a very small risk percentage this week. And if I don't feel sure about a trade, I'm not taking it. But that is the intuition part. So if I do, and the feeling sure is what I mean by that, let me define it for you, because it might be very confusing. It's if I don't feel sure about the direction of where a pair or an instrument is moving, then I don't trade it. I want to be absolutely certain. Now, in during my prime, you could say, where you are fully in the flow, fully in the groove, I also demand that, but it's a different demand because in when I just got back and I'm not in the flow, I might see something clean that is not actually that clean because I'm not in the groove. So can you see it's the same thing, but the mind is different. The mind perceives it differently. So it's different in a sense, right? And then if the mechanical setup forms, so the entry pattern forms, then I of course take it. But I demand a lot on the direction. I also demand a lot on direction when I am in the groove, but it's different because I perceive it differently. That is important to understand. So that is exactly my plan going into this. This might help someone if you're having the same thing. Again, that is very important to understand, that you don't go full margin when it's your first day back, right? Give yourself some time. It's no problem. You're not missing out on anything. Opportunities will come, and there will be more opportunities even to come. So don't worry about that. All right, perfect. Thank you.